Hello and welcome to another episode of the ACC Insider Podcast here on the Field of 68 Media Network. My name is Rob Dauster. The gentleman you see with me is Jeff Goodman. We're going to be joined here in just a couple minutes by Henri Veesaar, the big man, one of the
Vesar.
stars.
I think it's
Veesaar.
Vesar. We got to ask him. I've heard it like both ways, like over and over this year. We need to get to the bottom of this.
Yes, we need to get to the bottom of this. This is investigative reporting. This is what we do here on the ACC
Wow.
Insider Podcast. But Big Hank is what we're going to call him. Big Hank is
Yeah.
joining the pod, one of the stars
Fair.
of North Carolina this season, coming off of an impressive 77-74 win over Louisville on Monday night. He was back in the lineup, 12 points in 30 minutes, and it was Seth Trimble though that had the biggest game. He went for 30. Seth looked unbelievable, and he's kind of been rolling, man. He's kind of been rolling since the Caleb Wilson injury, and it's good to see. I'm to be honest, like outside of what this means for North Carolina or the
Yeah.
ACC, I just really like Seth. He's a really good kid, and I am glad that he has been able to kind of get his flowers this year for just how good he is.
Here's what I'll say too. You weren't there for ACC Media Day,
Hmm.
but Henry was friggin' awesome too. Like they were the two of them were phenomenal. And again, they have fun. You can tell they're veterans of college basketball. So it's been fun to see Seth come back from that injury, be as good as he is. And Henry obviously is a key transfer for Carolina. Other than the illness, he's been terrific this year too. So Carolina, one of those teams that I think Rob is just kind of, I don't know if sneaking up on people is the right word, but kind of, right? Like nobody
Well,
kind of has a
that's
great feel for
that's
what they're going to do because of Caleb.
I actually think that's a great way to phrase it because they're 3-1 now, without Caleb Wilson. And I think people have just kind of forgotten about them. And I said this at the time, and I don't know if it was on this podcast or After Dark or Shoot, but I talk so much, I have no idea where I say anything, but I do remember that I said this, Jeff,
Probably
that
in your sleep. It was
but it
probably in your sleep.
might have been in my sleep. But I said that the injury to Caleb Wilson long run could end up being a blessing in disguise because it's going to force some of these other guys to figure out how to be in a bigger role and a more important role offensively so that if you have a situation where Caleb Wilson gets in foul trouble or if there's like a sprained ankle in the second half of a big game, or if it's a situation like Duke where he has a great first half and he just kind of runs out of gas in the
Yeah.
second half of a game, that you have guys that are going to be ready to step up into that role and play a bigger part of it. So I think that I mean, look, Seth Trimble's been great. Zayden High has stepped into a
Yep.
larger role and had a little bit more production. You know, he went for 13 and 10 against NC State in a loss. Yes, it was a loss, but he had 9 and 11 against Syracuse. He had 15 points against Pitt. So he's a guy that is taking advantage of being able to get some more minutes in that role. And can I
You
just
know who
say,
we have to talk about?
well,
You
can
know
I
who we have
just
to talk about?
first of all, first, can I just say for the record, like,
Yeah.
do you know how many times on this podcast you said you weren't there for ACC Media Day? Like it's like you're taking a shot at me. Why was? Can you please explain to the
No,
people why I
no,
wasn't at
you're
ACC
lazy.
Media
You're
Day?
just
I was
lazy.
not lazy. Some of
You're
you drove to Charlotte. I went to Sioux Falls. How can
you're
me going to Sioux
gallivanting.
Falls be late? I was
You were
gallivanting.
gallivanting in Sioux Falls, Idaho. How about that?
Idaho. How about South Dakota?
South Dakota. I'm sorry. Jesus.
You did, but
Idaho, South Dakota.
I'm so
A lot of
tired.
those
I'm
states,
so
a lot of
tired of
those
you
states
taking
out there
shots at me.
just they
You're
run
taking
together.
shots at me for I jumped on the grenade so you could go enjoy Charlotte, and I went to Sioux Falls, and I love Sioux Falls. I love the Summit League. I love everything about that conference. I thoroughly
I didn't want
enjoy
you. We
our
had
partnership.
me, RC, Tyler Hansbrough. We were low. We did
Don
not need
Henson, Terrence
you.
Oglesby. Yeah, you had a bunch of
Exactly.
guys that were all ACC players on
Yes.
the show, and you
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. But I was the one who held it all together. You know who else is holding it together up?
hit me.
Ryan Odom. Holy crap. Like we have not done a good enough job of giving this guy his flowers throughout the year. And I think again, you talk about another team that has kind of crept up on people a little bit. It is the Virginia Cavaliers. I mean, 25-3, Rob.
Mhm,
25-3. They were, I think, 16 in the NCAA tournament selection committee reveal.
mhm.
And they're just moving up. They're moving up. They got an unbelievable win against NC State, in which it was a victory that Will Wade press conferences are always entertaining, but Will's and this one was entertaining in a different way. He just said, he goes, listen, they are better. They are better in every facet of the game. And honestly, if we played them 10 times, they'd probably beat us all 10 of those times, which is one
I
hell of
love Will.
a statement.
I
It's
love I love Will. I love Will for
yeah,
that.
but it's like real. He's not sugarcoating it. He is saying this Virginia team is really, really good. We're not as good as people think we are, and they're a jump shooting team that if the shots aren't falling. But I thought it looked like a JV playing a varsity game, to be honest, with the size and the athleticism. And Virginia in the first half had 8 blocks. Do you know how many field goals NC State had in the first half?
It was like 7, right?
Six.
6, yeah.
More blocks than field goal. Like it was insane. And again,
Well, do you want to know why they've flown under the radar? Is because they don't, and this is not a shot. I think that they're really good. I'm not trying to say that they're overrated or anything like that, but they haven't had that massive win,
right?
right?
Agreed.
Like
Yeah,
when, especially on After Dark,
you're right.
right? And we ran into this a little bit with Arizona as well, where you have these teams that are winning and putting up these gaudy records,
Yep.
but on a night where Virginia, like let's just say they blow out NC State, like BYU lost last night too. There were two other big games. Indiana lost. Like they just
Yep.
they haven't had a point where they have a win so big that they're the biggest storyline of the
Well,
night.
they're not a top 10 team and they're not a bubble team. And unfortunately, right now, those teams in the middle tend to kind of,
But look at their best wins. Like their best wins are at Louisville when Louisville didn't have Michael Brown.
yep.
They've beaten NC State twice, which is good, but that's not going to be the kind of thing that makes you be
Dude,
a
they're
headline.
25-3 though.
I know, but it's one of those things
They
where
got Duke Saturday. This is the
well, that's
one.
that's what I was leading up to. It's
Yeah.
like when they have their wins, it's never the biggest story of the night, right? And it's never like the headline of the day. So we always get to the end of the show, and it's one of those things where it's like, all right, we got to keep mentioning Virginia. We don't talk about them enough, but it's hard to fit them in, even with 90 minutes a night. It's hard to fit them in because they haven't had that moment. Now is their moment. Saturday is their moment because Duke is coming off that win against Michigan, where Duke just said, "We are the best team in college basketball, point blank, period. Prove us wrong. You can't because we just beat the number one team." Right. And Virginia is going to the road. They're going to Cameron Indoor Stadium, and they get the opportunity to put together the performance and a chance to get the win that's going to make everybody say, okay, you know what? It's time to stop sleeping on Ryan Odom. It's time to stop sleeping on Testa Ritter. Let's give these guys the credit that they deserve.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, again, this is a huge opportunity for Virginia, not just resume wise, but confidence wise. Confidence wise. You go in, you beat Duke right
Mhm.
now with the way Duke came off that win against Michigan on a neutral court in DC. Then people are going to be talking about the Cavaliers in a completely different light. I think even if you play them tough, if you play them down to a close one or two possession game at the end, I think it completely changes. And I think the committee, even looking at them, it might change kind of how they view Virginia.
Well, I don't know if a close one will do that, but a win at Duke, yeah, Goodman, the number one team in the country. If you win at the number one team in the country, it might change the way that you're viewed. It might change what your resume looks like if you beat Duke at Duke. Breaking news from Jeff Goodman. It's a
Yeah.
good thing to beat the number one team in the country in their own
All
building.
right, let's get to the guy that people actually want to hear from, not you and your rambling. Let's get to
Oh
North
man.
Carolina big man Henry Vesar.
And now let me welcome on to the ACC Insider Podcast, one of the stars of North Carolina's front court, Henry Veesaar. Henry, is great to see you, man. How you? First and foremost, how are you feeling? Are you good? Are you healthy? Are we back to being the Henry that we saw at the start of the season?
Yeah, I feel like I'm ready. I had kind of sadly had to miss a couple games, but 2 games, but I feel like that helped kind of overall my body to feel better and kind of get rid of the tedious pain on my foot. But besides that, I'm definitely feeling a lot better. But I was a little bit out of shape the last 2 games because I had missed a little bit of practice, but I feel like now I'm building back and I'll be ready to go for the next one for sure.
All right. Hey, pronounce your last name. I've heard it both ways over and over and over and over. And like, we got to set this straight, man.
Vesar.
Vesar, Vesar,
Veesaar.
Vesar.
Vesar,
Veesaar.
Vesar. All right, got it. I know we did this at Media Day too, but
Yeah, it's all
sometimes
right.
You hear it. Well, you hear other
That's
people
cool.
butcher it, and you're like, "Did I get it wrong?" So got to
No,
make sure.
yeah.
All right. So hey, I was there for that Duke game. I was there, and man, I will tell you, I don't know if I've seen anything like that. I've covered a lot of games in my lifetime. The end of that game was wild, wild. Take me through, not the game. I want to know after the game, what did Henry Veesaar do after the game to celebrate? Can you tell me? Are you allowed to tell me?
Yeah, I'm allowed to tell you. That ain't no after the game ended, I just we went to Franklin Street real quick. Coach said everybody needs to experience it. I got there and I realized that there's no way I can be there because we got swarmed and I was there for about 2 minutes and I left and then I went to dinner and that's about it.
Well, you
I
can't
tried
blend
to get
in.
down there, Rob. I tried to drive down because I wanted to see. I was going back. We had to do our show late night. So on the way back, I tried to get down there and like everything was blocked off. First of all, you couldn't even get down there unless
Yeah.
you had to walk from like a couple streets away, but I can only imagine. So when people saw you down at Franklin Street, even for those couple minutes, was it like because you can't hide? I mean, like Seth Trimble can hide a little bit
Yeah,
because
it was a
he's
chaos.
right.
It was like it was real. I was there with my fiance and her parents and one of my friends from back home. And it's literally we got there and there was like immediately like 100 people around us and
Yeah,
there was just no way we could move up and down. Like the people were like it was insane. I have not been a part of anything like that ever before.
yeah.
Speaking of Trimble, right? I mean, he made that big three. He had 30 points last night. Like it feels like he's kind of stepped into a little bit of a bigger role now that Caleb is out. And one, I love seeing him be the guy that kind of gets that success and gets some of that shine because of, his story and what he went through at North Carolina. But he's also like a talented dude, and I feel like he's being able to show a little bit more of that now.
No, for sure. I feel like he's the most rewarding guy ever. Like we talk about a Duke game, like there's not a better guy to get that last shot. Like he deserves it. He's a 4-year player at this new era, being at the same school. He's put so much blood, sweat, and tears into this program. Just his hard work every day. Like him being able to get that shot, I was so happy for him. And I feel like now that Caleb has been out, like he's definitely been more of the guy, like go-to guy, and he's had a lot more opportunities. And I feel like kind of I don't know, he like flipped the switch in the second half of Syracuse and that kind of just carried over because he started being more aggressive, getting downhill, and that carried over to the next game. He obviously everybody knows he had 30 points, but just seeing the way he played and the aggression, and he kind of did it both sides on the court, not just offensively but also defensively. He's a monster. So him being able to do that elevates us as a team to a different level.
How healthy are you now with the between the injury, between the illness? Like, are you back at 100? Or are you still trying to
Yeah,
get your win completely back at this point?
I feel like now I'm definitely at like
Yeah.
100%. I'm able to practice. I'm being able to play games, playing without any like pain. So it feels good.
What is it like playing with another guy, another front court piece like Caleb Wilson? I just the synergy you guys have, the passes that you're able to make. You can step out and knock down a three. He can make some jump shots. It's got to make life easier to be able to have another dude that can do a lot of the same things that you can do. Because you don't always have to be buried in the post now. You can step out. What are you shooting? 43% from three? Show it off a little bit, Henry.
I honestly don't know what it is exactly. I know lately it's been going down because I've missed a lot, but I'm kind of trying to get it back to where it was. But I would say for sure playing with Caleb is like such a smart player, and obviously he's uber talented where he's super quick, has that athleticism where they have to put two on him. So it kind of opens up a lot for everybody else. I feel like now normally when we're playing against teams, they double only Caleb in the post because it's hard to double both guys because otherwise you're gonna be constant in rotation. But last game Caleb was out and I was like, oh, now they're doubling me. I was like, I got your ball one dribble and I get two on me all the time. So it definitely makes a difference. And just Caleb is a good passer as well, like high and low. He sees the passes. He can seal. I can find him for easy layups because they normally have a four in him that he's going to be taller and bigger and more athletic. So I can just kind of throw it over the top and he's going to catch it, dunk it, or like just lay it up easily.
So you got that first double team that hits you, and you're like, Caleb, you got to get back here, man. I'm not built for this. I don't want these double teams.
I don't mind the double teams because then I can just pass it out and we're going to have a lot out of it. But yeah, it was definitely, I feel like maybe there's been a couple times before this season, but not as much as this one.
Have you
Oh,
ever seen a
nice.
guy that tries to dunk literally everything the way that Caleb does. Like that dude's had more impressive missed dunks this season than I think anybody I've ever seen. It's just like, why do you think that you're able to finish that? And why were you able to get so close to actually dunking that? It's incredible.
Yeah, you sometimes like you see him drive and you're like, he's going up against three people, and then you're like, he's still going. Oh, he dunked it. It's a great play. I was like, it's definitely he just the way he's able to control his body on his drives and go up at the end to finish. It's insane. Like I have never seen anything like that. The way he's able to control and jump out of all the plays and just make impressive plays every single game. Like he doesn't care who's guarding him, who's in front of him. He's gonna go up there, and he always gets higher than them.
Hey, how long did it take you to get adjusted when you came over playing here from Estonia at Arizona? Like how long? And now you had to go through another adjustment. I assume it's much easier now after having done it, come over to Tucson for a couple of years to adjust to life in Chapel Hill. But it can't be easy. I think so many people look at you guys and say, all right, like it shouldn't be that hard, but it's got to be pretty difficult to, again, leave your friends, your family, everybody, the time difference, all of it.
Uh, I mean, I already left home really when I was 15 because I wanted to like play in Spain.
Yep.
But I would say basketball wise, because that was definitely like personally the harder adjustment because you just go away from your family, you're younger, you have to figure everything out. But I would say basketball wise, it was a harder adjustment coming to the US because the game is played a little bit differently and definitely refed a little bit differently. So it's like what you expect to be a foul, they don't call a foul. What you expect not to be a foul is a foul. So it's like it's just a lot differently, or like rules, like travels. Like I have definitely gotten used to like when you take off, you can definitely take off a lot quicker here because you can kind of lift the back foot a little bit. In Europe, if you lift the back foot before the ball hits the ground, it's automatic travel. So just being able to have those little rule differences, it makes a big difference. Just being able to adjust and really use your rules to your benefit helps. And I feel like the hardest part was kind of passing and realizing the passing lanes because it looks open and you have a lot of athletes and it's not open. So just being able to make the safe pass and kind of putting a little bit more heat on the pass because to be able to get it through that they don't react it rather than lob it with like a soft pass.
So, Henry, you're correct me if I'm wrong, but your mom was a professional ping pong player, correct?
Yes.
Can we schedule a match between her and Goodman because Goodman thinks that he's actually good at ping pong, and I really need him. His ego is too high. I need him to get taken down.
You know who beat me? Henry. So years ago, I played Tyler Hansborough, and I kicked his ass at Carolina in the Dean Dome, and then we played again about 2 years ago at the Final Four, and Hansborough kicked my ass.
Tell him what the score was. Tell him what the score was.
I don't remember. I don't want to remember.
I remember what it was.
It was bad. It was bad.
21-3.
No, it was not 3.
It was 21-3. No, it was 21-3.
Anyway, Henry, like I probably need some lessons from your mom at this point.
Yeah,
is she still pretty good?
No, she's still really good. She will beat me with her left hand because
really,
yeah, because she had like a surgery on her right, so she had like was just for the fun of it was playing with the left, and she got really good. And it's
are you good?
I can play. I'm pretty good at it.
Can you take Hansborough? Do you think?
I haven't played him, so I have to see.
Challenge him.
That's a great matchup of bigs.
I might have to get a couple reps in to make sure I'm back warmed up.
You get that going.
You don't. I promise you, you don't want to see. You want to see T in ping pong.
No, you do. You got to play him. The first time we played, there. I forget what it's called, but the game is you got to lift up your shirt, and you get to friggin' hammer it at him in the stomach, and that was the one I won. So I friggin' hammered it at him, and it didn't matter. Tyler's
second time around.
Yeah.
Second time around was the same punishment.
Yeah.
What's up?
Second time around was the same punishment.
Pretty much. I got to practice. I got to practice or something.
Yeah, you need a lot of practice.
All right. So I said this earlier. I think people are kind of sleeping on you guys right now. Caleb goes out. You're out for a couple games. Even though you beat Duke, the #1 team in the country, just a couple weeks ago, I feel like you're kind of, just kind of tiptoeing around. People aren't really paying attention to you enough. Do you like this in a way? Can this be to your advantage?
I mean, a little bit, but I feel like we are kind of being the reason why because we have dropped a lot of games that we shouldn't drop. I feel like I would say that, especially in conference play, we have lost games that we feel like we were the better team and we just didn't play good enough. So I think those are the moments that we need to really build on, and kind of can't have just like, hey, we're going to play good against good teams. We have to play good. Like every team is good in conference play. So you have to have the same energy, the same motivation, same execution, level of concentration for every game. So I think that's something we can build on. But obviously, like the people don't expect it maybe from us as much as other teams. But I think we could definitely make a run and show the teams how good we can be, because I feel like we have showed over the whole season that we can beat any team as well as long as we play our own game and play to our best of our abilities.
All right. Last thing I got for you, Henry, is just big picture, right? For you guys to be able to, make a run to a Final Four, win an ACC tournament, kind of get back to hitting that ceiling beyond just getting Caleb back and getting Caleb healthy and getting him to be kind of himself again. What's the biggest thing that has to happen for this group?
I think the biggest thing that we have to do, and that I feel like we have struggled with a little bit, is just being able to play consistently and following the coaches and their plan consistently, where everybody does their job and is willing to follow the plan, and we play more disciplined, we're communicative. Because I feel like Louisville, we did a really good job on defense, talking and being communicative, that we haven't done in other games, because we didn't mess up as many switches, we didn't mess up our coverages. So just being able to do that, I feel like it's going to take us from this level to the next level. And that's the biggest part I feel like we need as a team, is just to be able to lock in every single game and build.
Well, listen, if you thought Franklin Street was crazy after beating Duke in a regular season game, imagine what it would be like if you win the whole thing. And if you can get Caleb back healthy, Seth playing his best basketball, get some other guys stepping up a little bit.
And if you start making your threes again, we got to get that percentage back up, man. 43 is too low.
That too.
Back where it was.
This is all right. My favorite Estonian right here, ahead of Kirk Risa. You moved ahead of Kirk Risa.
I'll take it.
Henry, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.